What am I saying to you as a young person? I'm trying to show you some of the compromising and things you do that takes you out of this position where you can hear the voice of God giving you instruction because you're too busy listening to other voices. Everything that's going on with you as a teenager is a battle of words. It's Satan's words against God's words. You're either going to listen to his instruction or you're going to listen to the instruction of your father. And the Bible says, this is what God says in his word, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger's voice they will not follow. We're talking about dominion. Say it with me, dominion. When you realize who you are in the kingdom of God, and you realize according to this word, he has said to you, I have given you power, grace, strength. I've given you my strength to live a life of godliness. Because you can't do it by yourself. I've given you my grace, my strength to resist sin, because you can't do it by yourself. You can't stop sinning by yourself. You're going to need the power of God to stop sinning. Listen to this. Listen to this. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3. For his divine power has bestowed upon us all things. He's given us all things to live a life of godliness through the knowledge of him. Listen to that. He said, I've given you power, but the power comes from knowledge of him. The power comes from knowledge of him. It comes from understanding who he is and who he is in your life. Let's go on real quick for the sake of time. Let's go on real quick. Now look verse 4. Listen to this. By means of these he has bestowed on us his precious and exceedingly great promises, so that through them you may escape. Say it with me. Escape. Say it again. So that you may escape by flight from the moral decay, rottenness, and corruption that is in the world because of covetousness, lust, and greed, and become partakers of the divine nature. Now, let me read this to you in the Message Bible. Let me read to you the Message Bible. Let me read to you the Message Bible. Here's what it says in the Message Bible, Message version of these scriptures. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. Here's what it says. Everything that goes into a life of pleasing God has been miraculously given to us by getting to know personally and intimately the one who invited us to God, Jesus. The best invitation we ever received. We were also given absolutely terrific promises to pass on to you your tickets to participation in the life of God after you turn your back on a world corrupted by lust. So he says here, I've given you an ability. I've given you my grace. I've given you my power. I've given you my authority to have absolute dominion. I've given you my authority to dominate over the moral decay of the world. I've given you my power to dominate over the moral decay of the world. If you learn to operate in this, then you won't keep failing in life. He said, I've given you power over, dominance over, authority over. I've given you a grace, my strength, over sin. I've given you grace, my strength, to live life as a Christian, because you can't do it by yourself. You wonder why you keep failing? Because you keep compromising. It's like a dog who throws up his vomit. It's nasty. Well, when God delivers you, listen, young people, when he sets you free from sin, from the bondage of sin, when he gives you his power to overcome sin, when he gives you his power to overcome sin, and then you go right back to that sin and pick it back up, it's like a dog licking his vomit back up, putting his vomit back in his body, and getting sick all over again. You get spiritually sick all over again because you went back and you lapped up that vomit. If God delivered you, young man, from a certain young lady that wasn't good for you, quit crying and going back. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you?